Let us sing together this one. I've forgotten his name now who wrote this one, but it's God is, I am, right here, right now. Right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. Sing it with me. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. One more time. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
God, absolute good and unconditional love, is the one constant presence and power in our lives and in the world. God is, I am. If it's comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze and just relax a little more fully into right here and right now. God is right here, right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now, I open myself to be a sanctuary of love, of peace, of joy, a sanctuary of hope. There is only one power and one presence. And that presence exists as a divine spark in each one of us. A divine spark in each manifest expression throughout this incredible manifest experience. With a gentle exhalation, feel yourself relax, even just a little bit more into right here and right now. God is and I am. God is and I am. The distractions of the manifest world pull us away from the truth and the assurance of our divinity. our assurance of the divine presence of creation within us. Today I make a new choice and see myself as fully divine in potential and fully human in expression. Fully divine and fully human. Right here and right now. So let's pause for just a moment in the stillness and the silence. Right here and right now. And know that presence within. I live in the assurance of my divinity. I live in the assurance of my divinity. This assurance allows me to pause and experience the stillness and the silence within, no matter what noise, no matter what obstacles, no matter what appearances are showing up in the world. I live in assurance of divinity. Because if there is only one power and one presence, then I know that all things are divine expressions in potential. And so I pray to see clearly. Right here and right now. I am. Right here, right now, God is. I am. I think, I pray, I do, I live, I love. Right here and right now. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Amen.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am, God is. And as we prepare to receive Rev Todd's message, talk about opening our eyes. We're going to sing this one. This one is a Wings of Song. Sing it with me. Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Willingly now I wait in thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my ears that I may hear voices of truth so loud and clear. And while the wave notes fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Silently now I wait in thee, ready, my God, thy truth to see. Open my ears, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my mouth, and let me bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my mind, and let me prepare for life so divine, for love to share. Willingly now I wait in thee, ready, oh God, the truth to speak. Open my mouth, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my mouth, illumine me, Spirit divine.
Happy Sunday, friends, family. Today's talk is called All Things. Part of that is because all things are coming up for me recently. All things. And this week I have really been consumed with the idea of resistance. Resistance. And the spiritual teachings around non-resistance. And been trying to get my mind clear on this to give a talk. And so I am affirming right now that the right and perfect words, thoughts, and ideas come through me today to inspire. Because this is a messy thing, because as we just remembered in our meditation, we are fully human in expression and we are fully divine in potential. And there is a spiritual necessity around non-resistance. in our spiritual life. And that does not mean that there should not be opposition in our manifest experience here on Playground Planet Earth. You get that? Is that resonating a little bit? I was contemplating this idea of love and how it is both possible and necessary to love someone so much, to love something so much, and perceive the possible perfection in that person, place, organization, to see the possible perfection in its expression, and still be fully human and want it to be better than it is right now. And that's where I am. But if I hold a position of resistance in my consciousness, I'm creating more resistance and more conflict in the world. So it's one of these paradoxes of duality where I have to be non-resistant to the idea that there is that divine spark in all things, in all people. There is a divine spark in all ideas. That does not mean that they come to fruition in the manifest form. This whole conundrum that I've been, working my way through this week took me to one of the stories in Mark. If you haven't been here for a while, I'm trying to look at the idea of social action and the teachings of our way shower, and how we apply that to our life. And I came to this story in Mark. It's in chapter 9. I'm going to read one of the versions. This is verses 22 through 24. And oft times it had cast him both into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do nothing, have compassion on us and help us. This is a father talking about his child who is possessed by a demon. Ever known somebody possessed by a demon? Right? Right? We kind of laugh about that, but the truth is if we truly believe that enough of us hold the idea and the potential and the possibility that someone can have that kind of error expressing in them, I'm not going to tell you that it can't. Because I certainly see things in the manifest world that my mind, from a perspective of love, cannot explain away unless, I don't believe at the level of God that there's any opposition to God. But here in the manifest world, absolutely, there are things that are opposed to the teachings of our way shower, to the commandments of the law, spiritual law. I mean, let's be clear. Spiritual law is unchanging. That means it always is. Mind, idea, action. Spiritual law. In this here relative world that we get to call our playground planet Earth, laws are man-made. And just because something is legal does not mean that it is moral or that it is just. And so, I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I have people in my life that I love very dearly, that I have known for a very long time, that don't see eye to eye with me, but and I can either resist their ideas or I can find a place to agree. And we agree that there are things that are not fair in this manifest world. And from that agreement, we can grow forth and see change in the world. But if I hold in my consciousness that this person is wrong, or that they are possessed by the devil or a demon, I'm creating more violence in the world. I'm creating more conflict in the world. And so there has to be a duality of holding in truth that there is an agreement someplace. I have to tell you, there are a lot of people here in this amazing country that I have had the privilege of growing up in that see things very different from me. But I have to come to agreement that together we love our country. And from knowing that we have a shared space, change can be created because the energy of conflict does nothing but destruct. Back to our story. This is a man who's talking to Jesus because the son has not been helped, even though he's been thrown in the fire, he's been thrown in the water. Please have some compassion, help us. Our way shower shows us that no matter who shows up, we are to hold compassion for them. Jesus said unto him, if thou canst, all things are possible to him that believeth. All things are possible when we believe in possibility. All things are possible when we can find that place where we can agree. And straight away the father of that child cried out and said, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. I believe. Now, this is important. This is really important, because, especially when we live in a world that oftentimes directs us to look for somebody to come and save us. Our way shower put it back on the dad. Our way shower said, you have to believe. You have to do the work. So I put on your shoes. If you want to be well, get up and walk. Nobody's coming to save you. That's a tough thing to hear in a world that really wants us to believe that somebody's coming to save us. It's not happening. Now, it's also an interesting thing to point out, right, that this, in unity, if you don't know this, there are 3 phases. There are 3 expressions of Jesus. There is Jesus, the perfect idea of man in the mind of God. And then there is Jesus Christ, who has awakened to the spiritual divinity within and the creative power, and uses that power to wake other people up to remind them of who they are. Believe. Believe in all things are possible. And then in this period of Lent, of fasting, of getting rid of the thoughts and the errors and the things that do not serve us, we then come to the crucifixion, and where Jesus so completely knew who he was that he was not afraid. Walked in knowing that he and told everybody, I'm going to die, and then 3 days later something crazy's going to happen, and I'm going to get up again. And the resurrection happens, and then he becomes Christ Jesus, because the Christedness of his being has overcome his human expression. And I think so many people in the world today are waiting on that Christ Jesus to come back and make something different, that they forget that you right now get to be the Christ of your being and remind everyone else who they are, and bless them. I said this a couple of weeks ago, where Lau Fillmore had written an article and said, to unseat a tyrant, you have to praise them. You praise them because when we bless people, when we praise them, The Spirit of God lifts them up. Just like the belief, we have to have the belief that our prayers make a difference. We have to believe that our blessing of everyone makes a difference in the world. And I got to tell you, that's the only thing that makes a difference right now is the belief that our blessing and our praises will change things. But they only change when we change. Because every horrible thing that's happening out there in the world that I want to make a list of, I have it in me to heal. I have that demon is living inside of me, and I have to believe and have my unbelief healed so that I can be the person that shows up every day loving one another. And finding that place where we can agree. And I think most people can agree with me that life is not fair. I had to put this to the test yesterday. I was having a conversation with someone I had never met before. And I can't even tell you how the conversation started. But it went to a place where we were talking about scholarships. And they had a child that did not get any scholarships. And they started with one of those statements that takes my breath away. I'm not racist, but know thyself. And went on their well-rehearsed monologue of how life isn't fair. And we can agree on that. Life isn't fair. We can agree on you had to pay too much for a college education for a child. We can agree on that. And from that agreement, I can hold the possibility of a shift in my own consciousness. A shift where I don't condemn this person. Because this person was doing the very best they can with what they know. And so I can bless them to have a more complete experience of life. And then I can take my own action, my social action, to do things to point out the injustice and the racism that exists in the world, the misogyny and the homophobia that exists in this world today. I can still take action and not condemn anyone else. I have to find that place where I agree, where we are in agreement. This is from Imelda Shanklin. Always there is ground for agreement. If you do not find that ground, grant its presence, agree or withdraw in peace. Resistance will fret you, throw you out of correspondence with your association. When you are non-resistant, your associations are frictionless, and your growth is unaccompanied by pain. I could deal with some pain-free growth. I could deal with some pain-free growth. Non-resistance is not mere tolerance. It includes none of the assumed superiorities of the personal mind. It is a positiveness that offers no opposition, that does not take account of opposition. Being non-resistant, you do not feel yourself of higher grade than others. You do not consider differences, you consider likenesses. You have no enemies because you are not an enemy. You do not consider differences, you consider likenesses. And that's what's true of our spiritual nature. And that does not mean that when you spend time in the stillness and the silence of your own being, in spite of the appearances and the noises and the racket and the radio and all the talking heads on social media and the TV and the radio, does not mean that you don't find clarity in what you are called to do to oppose in those structures in the world, in those relationships in the world, to call all of us up to being love. And if you're, I remember those bracelets back in the 80s and 90s, WWJD. We always said, "Who wants Jack Daniels?" Back when I was a drinker. Not all of us. What would Jesus do? Well, Jesus would feed people. He would always show up with compassion and remind people of who they are. He would unleash within them the creative potential of knowing that they are whole and healthy and alive. He would call them into service. And when he would see things that were unjust, sometimes, just sometimes, he would turn over some tables. Now, there's a whole litany of metaphysical things that we can go into about all of those stories. But he would show up as love. And when people would come after him, and let me tell you, we've talked about him before, the Sanhedrin, right? They would come after him. Well, what do you mean by this? And Jesus would not answer their questions because he knew they were looking for him to be an enemy. They were looking for a reason to punish him. And so he met that with opposition by continuing to be love. And so we are called to be love. We are called to make a choice, to find the place of likeness, the place where we can agree. And together, create a peace-filled world that works for all. And I'm told that's enough. Go forth and be love. Stop looking for reasons that other people are wrong. Find something to agree with, and from that place, use the divine power within you to create, to know better, to be better, to do better. And so it is. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Rev Todd, for your message. You never cease to amaze me. I want to sing this song, and hopefully I can do it justice with my playing. It is a song by Sam Cooke, and so I hope that you like it. I was born by a river in a little town, and just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes, it will. Now I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me, don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes, it will. Oh yes, it will. Oh yes, it will. I go to my brother and I say, brother, please, please help me. And he just winds up knocking me down, back down on my knees. Oh, there were times that I thought that I couldn't last for long. Now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. A change is gonna come. Change is gonna come. Change is gonna come. Oh yes, it will. Because we are the change that we seek. So change is gonna come. Oh yes, it will.